Please subscribe, and at the end of this video, do not forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. So guys, today I will be responding to why students do not perform as expected. So this is an everyday conversation for students, parents, educators, and other stakeholders. It's a whole lot of reasons out there responding to why students do not perform as expected. But for me, I've drawn it down to two reasons. These are just my opinions as to why students do not perform as expected. Now, the first reason I established is they are not studying what they want to study. Yes, a lot of times we find people not studying what they actually want to study, and it's a big problem. If you're studying a course you do not have interest in, it's a problem for you to perform excellently. It's a problem for you to perform in an outstanding manner. It's a problem. So not studying the course you want to study is a problem, and it's one of the reasons why students do not perform as expected. Now, what are the causes? What are the things that have led to students not studying the courses they want to study? Now, one is course imposition. Now, what is course imposition? Basically, course imposition entails making someone to study a course he or she has no interest in or initially never wanted to study. Now, course imposition most times is all about the prestige, the course title, or some other societal attributions or privileges that comes with studying a particular course. Now, course imposition most times are devoid of the self-awareness of the individual in question. It also lacks love or passion by the individual in question to contribute to that field. So it's a problem when you impose a course on someone. At the end of the day, it makes students not to perform as expected. Now, there are agents of course imposition. We'll be discussing these agents. Agents of course imposition. I've established two agents of course imposition. We have the parents and we have the institution. Now, for the parents, sometimes parents, because of the love for the child or quest to ensure that their child's future is secured, they tend to lure their children into studying a course that they do not have interest in. Sometimes it even goes as far as forcing them to study these courses. So it becomes a problem. It's a problem. It's an actual problem we have, particularly in an African setting. It's an actual problem. You see, a child would want to study music, but you have an African parent telling you, where do you want to study music? In which person's house? There is law, there is medicine, pharmacy, and all that. And what you found to study is music. So sometimes and at the end of the day, sometimes it's because of love. They try to, their quest to protect you, to secure your future, and a whole lot of it. They lure children into studying courses they do not want to study, or sometimes, in the worst case scenario, these children are being forced to study these courses. And when you find a student studying a course that has been imposed on him, sometimes they do not perform as they should have ordinarily if that is the course they actually wanted to study. So it's a problem. You see them just attending classes for attending sake. Some of them are just in school, let them just get the certificate and so that they can actually leave. Now, another agent of course imposition, which I've stated earlier, is the institutions. Institutions like JAMB, universities, and all that. So, like in Nigeria, for example, we have JAMB, we have the universities and all that. Now, a student will apply for a particular course, and the students would be given a different course. Yes, I understand the fact that we have limited institutions. We have limited numbers that an institution can admit for a particular course. But at the same time, when a student is being transferred from a course he initially applied for to a different course, it becomes a problem, particularly if the student does not have an interest, particularly if there is no interest in his new course. It becomes a problem for the student to perform as ordinarily he should have. Now, for example, I have a friend who he applied to OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University, and he applied for medicine. At the end of the day, he was giving soil science. Like, I was soil science. The problem I had with it was the distance, the difference. You applied for medicine and you're giving soil science. Like, the difference, the distance between medicine and soil science. It baffled me. I could not understand why someone would be transferred from medicine that is at this far end to soil science. It was really I was baffled hearing that story. I was really baffled. And then I asked, how did you cope? And he told me, said he never had interest in soil science whatsoever. He never had interest, and so it became a problem. It became a big problem for him. His first semester result was bad, was totally bad. If he was at least given a course that is closer to medicine, maybe anatomy and the other courses that are more related to medicine, maybe vet medicine, it would have been easier for him. But taking an individual from medicine to soil science, it was really bad for him, and so he made a very bad result in his first year. He made a very bad result in his first year, and he had a lot of issues. So institutions as agents of course imposition have really contributed a great deal. Institutions have really contributed a great deal to making students not perform as expected. So when you impose a course on an individual because he has no interest in, it becomes a problem for him to perform as expected. So course imposition, we have the parents and we have the institutions. Now, the second reason why people are not studying what they want to study, the second reason is there are not enough exposure as to the wide variety of courses available. A lot of students, particularly those in secondary school, do not know about a lot of courses available. There are lots of courses. The varieties are just too numerous to mention, and so they want something else, but since they are not exposed to the courses available that can suit that, they end up picking the known courses, the ones they know, which may not be in correlation with what they actually want to do. So yes, there's no knowledge that is a waste, but it's better if the knowledge you are acquiring is directly in line with what you want to do and what you intend to do. So since there is not enough exposure as to the wide variety of courses available, you see students undertaking some courses which ordinarily they should be taking a different one. As a secondary school student, I was only aware of just a few courses: medicine, law, pharmacy, mass comm, engineering, and all these regular courses we hear of. I never heard of anything international studies as a secondary school student. I never heard of international studies, international affairs, all that. So my first jump, I enrolled for law. So the person that enrolled me and did everything had to put in, for my second choice, had to put in international studies. And that was the first time I came in contact with the course international studies. That was Uniben. I was like, wow, there's a course like international studies. So it was at that point I began researching on the course international studies, international affairs, international relations, and all that. And at the end of the day, I found that international relations was more in line with what I wanted to do, the path I wanted to take, than law. So when I began applying for my the second time when I began applying after my first year at home, I had to change to international relations as my first choice, while law as my second choice. So some students are not aware, particularly secondary school students. So when they start trying to get into universities, they would only get to pick courses that they know, since there is not enough exposure as to the wide variety of courses available. So it's actually a problem. At the end of the day, they're just picking courses which may not suit what they want to do. So it becomes a problem for them performing as expected. Students not performing as expected has two reasons. There are two reasons, of which I've talked about the first one, which is students are not studying what they want. And under it, I talked about course imposition, and I equally talked about not enough exposure as to the wide variety of courses available. Now, on to the second reason why students do not perform as expected or are not performing as expected. Now, the second reason why students are not performing as expected is that they have not made themselves ready. Yes, they have not made themselves ready. Now, it's one thing to like a course, but it's another thing to have yourself ready to take that course. You can love a course. It's so much in line with what you want to do. You want to help humanity, and so you want to do that through medicine and all that. But if you've not had yourself ready to take the course medicine, you will not do well as a medical student. You will not do well as a medical student. So it's one thing to like a course, and it's another thing to have yourself ready to undertake that course. So different courses come with their different responsibilities and having yourself ready. So you have to make yourself ready. Another reason why students have not performed as expected is because they are not ready. So, and it comes in two ways. The first way is making yourself ready to undertake the course you like, the course you want to actually take. Now, the second way is having yourself ready to undertake a course which maybe might have been imposed on you by parents or institution. You have to equally make yourself ready. When the desirable is not available, the available becomes the desirable. So if you must perform as expected, even in a course which initially was not your choice, maybe might have been imposed on you, or maybe is a course that is the available course, you have to make yourself ready to be able to undertake that course and perform excellently. You have to make yourself ready. Now, this is particularly for those who are not leaving the course. You can decide to transfer, to change to a different course. Okay, that's fine. To a course you actually want. You can decide to drop out from the course and go to another school to start up a different course. That's fine. But if you are not leaving the course anytime soon, if you are following through that course to the end, you have to make yourself ready. You have to make yourself psychologically ready to undertake that course. You have to tell yourself the truth. You are here, and so you have to find something to love in the course. You have to find a way to make the course suitable for you if you must perform as expected, if you must perform excellently. Now, in the first session, I talked about my friend who was giving soil science in place of medicine. Now, the good thing about his story was that he graduated with a first. Like, he made a first. And making a first was actually what got me interested in his story. And I asked him one day, I said, what happened? This was never a course you loved. You never wanted to have anything to do with it. So what happened? And he said, I was given a course I didn't want, I didn't like, had no whatsoever interest in. But I knew I was not leaving that course anytime soon. So it would be unfair on my part and that of my parents to just continue to make a bad result because I don't like the course, or I never wanted the course, or it was not the course I applied for. So it would be unfair. And so I sat down and I advised myself. I changed my mindset. And I told myself, since I'm remaining here, I'm not going anywhere in this course. I can't afford to continue to make a bad result. And that was the turning point in his life. And from that time onward, up until he finished his 5 years in school, he made an excellent result, and at the end of the day he made a first. So these are the reasons why students do not perform as expected. One, they are not studying what they want to study. Two, they have not made themselves ready. Not making yourself ready entails, even when you like the course, you may not be ready. You've not made yourself ready to take that course with so much love. And when it is a course you do not like or that has been imposed on you, you've not equally made yourself ready. Since you're not leaving, you've not equally made yourself ready to take that course, to find something to love in the course. So that is it, guys. These are the two reasons as to why students do not perform as expected. One, they are not studying what they want. Two, they've not made themselves ready. So until students are studying what they want to study, devoid of course imposition, have been given enough exposure as to the wide variety of courses available, and until they have made themselves ready to study a course they love or a course that has been imposed on them, most times these students do not get to perform as expected. So guys, these are just my opinions. I will want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your comment down below. Please drop your comment down below. If you're new here, thank you. Please do subscribe. Turn on your notification bell to always get my videos immediately it's being released. Thank you so much. And for the returning guys, thank you so much. I love you. Please do subscribe, share this video, share it with your loved ones. Let me know what you guys think. Please, I believe this video would be very helpful to students, educators, parents, and other stakeholders. Thank you very much. Let me know what you guys think. Until the next time, when I'll see you guys, peace out.